welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Urvi. I live in New York City, but at the moment I am on a little work from home vacation trip in Old San Juan in Puerto Rico, and that explains why my backdrops have been so different lately. Get excited because today I'm bringing you part 2 of my New York City apartments video. In this series, I basically go over different neighborhoods in New York City and what the rents there are like and what your money can get you in that neighborhood. This video series was inspired by Refinery 29's Sweet Digs videos. If you haven't watched my first video in this series, I recommend you watch it. I will link it up here. It's basically what $1,500 to $3,000 can get you in Chelsea and East Village in Manhattan, New York City. And in this video, I'm going to be going over what $1,500 to $2,500 can get you in Upper East Side and Upper West Side. If you like this style of videos or if you enjoy my channel, I would really be grateful if you considered subscribing. And also hit the like button on this video. It'll really help my channel grow. It looks like the Upper East Side and the Upper West Side have some of the greatest deals right now. I was really surprised to see that in the $1,500 to $2,500 price range, you can get up to a 2-bedroom apartment, which even a year ago would be impossible. I did see some of these apartments in person, and some of them are videos that I got from the real estate agents, but I did just put together 8 apartments on the Upper East Side, Upper West Side for you guys. Make sure you stick around till the very end for the best apartments. I'm going to start off with the apartments that I saw on the Upper East Side, mainly in the Lenox Hill area. If you don't really know Manhattan, then Lenox Hill is basically the lower section of the Upper East Side, so it's east of Park Avenue, between the 60s and the 70s. So almost all the apartments I saw with these great deals were in the Lenox Hill area. So just in case you're looking to move to the Upper East Side, I feel like this would be a great time to look at the Lenox Hill area. Lenox Hill is a really nice neighborhood. I would say it's quieter compared to some of the busier parts of the city, but it's also not completely quiet because it's closer to the bridge and also has a lot of restaurants. It's also easy to commute from here to other parts of Manhattan or other areas of New York City because it's close to the Q train. You will see that mostly all the apartments in this video are in the older Upper East Side buildings, and those are the apartments that are offering the really cheap rents right now. Now, the first 2 apartments that I saw were in the same building, and they were both 1-bed, 1-bath apartments. This building was pretty clean, I thought, but it didn't have an elevator or a laundry in building. The first apartment that I saw, it was a 1-bed, 1-bath, like I said, and the rent on Street Easy was mentioned at $1,795, but they were offering 1 month free on a 12-month lease. So the rent came up to $1,645 net effective. The first unit that I saw in this building was a first floor walk-up. So as soon as you enter, you walked into basically the living area, which was also the kitchen space. Overall, I really liked the open layout of this house. I just felt like everything made sense in how it was laid out, but I was a little disappointed with the kitchen area itself because there was absolutely no counter space, and when you do use the kitchen or you do cook like I do, it's very essential to have a place to like chop your vegetables or a little bit of a counter space to work with. The cabinets were also older finishes, but they were again updated. The wood wasn't like chipping off or anything. And the other kitchen appliances also seemed updated. From the kitchen, you walked into the living area, which had 2 decent-sized windows, but there wasn't too much light in this apartment because it did face the back of the building and it did face another building. Connected to the living room on the left side was the bathroom, which I really wasn't a fan of because it just felt very boxed in and kind of made me feel claustrophobic a little bit. It did have a half bathtub, but other than that, I just thought it was on the smaller side. What I did love about this unit though was the ample closet space. This apartment had 1 big walk-in closet in the living room, and then on the opposite side of the kitchen counter area it had another full-size closet, and then it also had a half entryway closet where you enter in, and that is pretty rare for New York apartments to have like so much closet space, especially for just a 1-bedroom apartment. Connected to the living area on the other side was the bedroom, and it was a decent sized bedroom. It would fit a full to queen size bed, but a queen size bed I thought would get tight in there because there wasn't too much space. It wasn't too wide. There wasn't another closet in the bedroom, which is fine because the house had enough closets already, but it did have one window, and that window was facing directly a brick wall, so basically no light in the bedrooms. But overall, for the price of $1650 or $1645, this apartment seemed like a good deal. And if you're someone for whom natural lighting isn't a concern, this would be a good option. Moving on to the next apartment in the same building, which was listed for $1895, so $100 more expensive than the first unit, but also had 1 month free on a 12-month lease, so the net effective rent was about $1745. This was on a higher floor, so I forget, but I think it was a second or a third floor walk up. Here you walked in again into the living area, which had one window, but again this was pretty dark because the window directly faced a brick wall, and from there on you walked into the kitchen on the left side, which I think was the same size as the first unit, but it seemed bigger because here the layout was a little bit different and they used the concept of like adding walls, and so the kitchen felt like a separate eat-in kitchen. The kitchen connected to the bathroom, which might seem a little bit weird, but it's pretty common thing to come across in New York City apartment layouts. The bathroom was pretty much comparable to the first one, except this one was all white. It seemed a little small and boxed in with a half bathtub. Back through the kitchen and the living area, the bedroom was on the other side of this house, and you walked in to the bedroom. Again, the bedroom had two windows. There was a little bit of light coming in from here, maybe because this was a higher floor, but this still faced the back of the building. There were two closets in the bedroom, one small walk-in closet and one regular sized half closet, and there were no other closets in like the living area or anything, which I thought was still pretty decent. Overall, I actually like the first unit I saw better than this one because I prefer the more open layout. This one felt a little bit more boxed in for my liking. I would definitely consider living here if natural lighting wasn't a problem because the rent was great. This building was also rent stabilized, which means your rent would only go up by a very minimal amount every year. Closet space in both the apartments was pretty great. And cons of these apartments, I didn't really like the lack of counter space in the kitchen. The bathrooms felt kind of small and boxed in for my liking. And of course, the natural light not being there was a complete like no for me. Moving on to apartment number 3 on the Upper East Side. This one was actually listed as a 2-bed 1-bath on East 78th Street, and the rent was listed at $1875, and that got me excited because for a 2-bed apartment, $1875 is a really great price. This was also a laundry building. I didn't see this in person. I got a video from the real estate agent, but it was a 6th floor walk up, which can get so tedious. Over here, you walked in again to the living area, which seemed kind of small with the kitchen towards the left, and the kitchen did seem updated. There were newer appliances in this kitchen, and it did have a window, so you had some natural light coming in from there. The living area itself seemed very small. The bathroom was also connected to the living area. I like this bathroom because of the little gray tile they had going on the walls. Across from the bathroom through the living area, you entered the bedrooms, which I thought were extremely narrow, and I was like, okay, here's the catch. This is why this apartment is cheap, because these bedrooms would, I think, only fit a full bed maximum. You couldn't go above that because of how narrow they were. And I also saw that they only had 1 half closet in each bedroom. I also thought that the layout was kind of weird because it looked in this video like you had to enter into the second bedroom through the first one, and so if you're living with roommates, that would be a problem because you'd have to invade somebody else's privacy to get into your other bedroom. Maybe there was another door that wasn't in this video, but I don't know. I didn't really consider this as a true 2-bedroom apartment. To me, it seemed more like a 1-bedroom area, divided with walls to make a 2-bedroom apartment. Overall, I thought that the lighting in this house was decent. The kitchen had pretty good storage and counter space. The cons for this apartment outweighed the pros for me because first off, it was a 6th floor walk up. For the same price of $1,900 on the Upper East Side, there's there's some pretty great deals right now, so it didn't make sense to live in a place that was essentially a 1-bedroom but converted into a 2-bedroom. Apartment number 4 on the Upper East Side was a 2-bed 1-bath apartment listed at $2,300 and had 2 months free on a 12-month lease, and so the net effective rent was about $1,917, which was pretty good for a 2-bedroom apartment. This building was an elevator laundry building, so again, for that price, getting those amenities, pretty good deal. On entering into this unit, it just seems really nice and spacious and well lit, and on the left side is a pretty decent sized bathroom. It's all white. I kind of like how this bathroom's made. And on the left side of the bathroom is an entryway closet, and through there you walk into a narrow kitchen, which I thought has really good cabinet and storage space and a decent amount of counter space. There was also a full closet opposite to the kitchen, and from there you walked in to the first bedroom, which I really loved because of all that natural light streaming in. The hallway in this apartment was kind of narrow, so through the hallway you also walked in to the master bedroom at the end of this apartment. And this bedroom had a connected private balcony, which is super rare in New York City, especially at $1,900. To have a true 2-bedroom with a private balcony was a pretty sweet deal, I thought. This bedroom also had great natural light, of course, because it was facing the street and it had all that light coming in from that big balcony there. The living area in this apartment was a little bit smaller, but you could still pretty much fit a couch and like a small TV console there. I don't think they had any additional closets in any of the bedrooms, which I thought was kind of weird because there was definitely space for a closet in the master bedroom. Overall, pros for this one, I thought it was a super good deal for the amount that you were paying to live in a building with those amenities and have a private balcony. Love the layout, love that it was a true 2-bedroom apartment and not just 1 bedroom split into 2. I really also thought the kitchen had some good storage space. Cons for this apartment, I couldn't think of any except that the closet space was kind of limited for a 2-bedroom apartment, but I would definitely consider living in this one. The last apartment on the Upper East Side that I want to talk about is this 1-bed 1-bath priced at $2,000, which I thought was a super good deal because this was located in a building with laundry, a concierge, a doorman, gym. This unit had a pretty huge 3-door entryway closet, which would basically fit every single piece of clothing I owned. The kitchen was on the left side as you entered. It did feel a little small because it was kind of boxed in. There was ample storage space. There was also a little bit of counter space, and it had a little island which overlooked the living area, so you could, look into the living area, watch TV while you were cooking. The living area itself also looked pretty wide and spacious. It had a huge window which overlooked New York City buildings, so a very nice New York view. The bedroom and the living area were separated by French doors, which I love that part of some New York City buildings which have that French door architecture. It just makes it feel kind of vintage and nicer. The bedroom was also a pretty good size with a big window, 2 closets, and it also had an ensuite bathroom. Overall, I couldn't really think of any cons for this apartment because I thought that for the price, the amenities and the building that you were living in was pretty good, and I really also liked the layout and the natural lighting in this apartment, so definitely consider this a very sweet deal. Moving on to the apartments that I saw on the Upper West Side. Personally, this is one of my most favorite neighborhoods in Manhattan. I love it so much. It's close to Central Park. There's a lot of cultural advantages to living here. It's close to the museums. It is also close to the Lincoln Center. And the apartments that I saw here were on West 64th Street, so super close to Lincoln Center. A 10-minute walk from Trader Joe's. There's also a lot of really nice restaurants here. There's really tall Manhattan buildings. There's also brownstones. It's very well connected to Manhattan by train or by bus. I saw 3 apartments in total on the Upper West Side, and all of them were actually part of one big complex or one big collection of buildings owned by a single management. So it was like buildings connected to each other that shared the common areas. This particular complex had a playground area for kids. It had outdoor space for residents of the complex to use. It also had a gym and a laundry room, but I did feel that overall all these amenities and this building itself felt a little bit dated. But that said, it still did feel pretty clean and well maintained. You did have the management office right there in the building. It was also on a very quiet street. So I'm gonna start off with the first two apartments that I saw in this building, which were both 2-bed, 1-bath apartments priced at $25.50 and $25.95. And they did have 4 months free on a 13-month lease. So the net effective rent for both of these apartments on a 13-month lease was coming up to $1,765 and $1,797, which is $1,800. The first unit I saw was more expensive by $50. It was priced at $25.95 gross rent, like I said. In this unit, you walked into a pretty spacious living area which had really great natural light streaming in from the windows. The kitchen was part of the living area, and they said that it was $50 more expensive than the other one because the appliances and the finishes in this kitchen were slightly more updated. Through the living area, you walked into the first bedroom, which had one window which was allowing some natural light to come in, and it did have one half closet, but I did think it was pretty narrow, so it would not fit like more than a full bed, I would say. The second bedroom was also pretty comparable to the first one, with one window, one half closet, again the narrow layout. And the bathroom itself was also a decent size, nothing too special, but it was a good sized bathroom, I thought, for New York City standards. Overall, for the pros of this apartment, I did like it because it had good lighting. It was in a building that offered you a lot more amenities, and for the price of about $1,700 or $1,800, this was a good deal if you were looking to, you know, move in with a roommate. It didn't have as much storage space apart from those two half closets. It didn't really have any storage space, so you definitely have to put in some sort of storage on your end. Again, the problem that I have with New York City apartments advertises 2-bedroom is that they don't truly feel like 2-bedroom apartments because the bedrooms are so much narrower than usual, and that was also my problem with this one. The next apartment in this building was also a 2-bed 1-bath priced at $25.50, so $50 less than the first one. The layout I thought was pretty comparable to the first one, although I liked this one better. Walked in to the living area. Again, the kitchen was part of the living area. The cabinets here were slightly older and less updated, hence the lower price. However, I saw that the first bedroom in this apartment was slightly wider than the first apartment, so it did have one window and half closet. The second bedroom was pretty much the same size, slightly narrower, had a half closet again and a window. And the bathroom was exactly the same layout as the first apartment. So if I was to pick between these two, I would definitely go for the cheaper one because there wasn't too much of a difference. The last apartment that I saw on the Upper West Side, and also the last apartment for this video, is this 1-bed 1-bath apartment, part of this same complex that I was talking about, and the rent was listed at $2,200. With all of the offers, it was coming up to about $1,500 net effective, which is such a great rent for a 1-bed 1-bath if you know New York City real estate. The living area in this unit was pretty good. It was spacious, it had 2 windows in the living area. What I didn't like was the kitchen was basically non-existent here. There was just one stove and a little bit of a sink, which I don't consider a real kitchen at all. But there was a refrigerator on the right side and some cabinet space above the stove and sink, so manageable if you want to make that compromise. The bedroom here was a decent size with good natural lighting and a small closet. Overall, there were only 2 closets in this apartment, one in the bedroom and one in the living area. And the bathroom was also pretty comparable to the other 2, a decent size. Out of the 3 apartments that I saw in this complex, I definitely liked this one the best because it was a true 1-bedroom. The other 2 were, I would not really consider them 2-bedroom apartments. And for the price of $1,500, I would say this was literally a steal on the Upper West Side. And so if you're willing to compromise with a little bit of lack of kitchen space and storage space, then these are the kind of apartments that you can consider living in. And honestly, it's always give or take a compromise living in Manhattan on a budget. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. With this video, I really did want to stick to the lower budget because I wanted to show you that you can afford to live in a really great neighborhood in Manhattan for a really good price if you're willing to compromise on some things. I know you guys love these and I do want to make more videos of this type, so let me know in the comments below which neighborhood you want me to cover next, what kind of price points I should do. I'm also looking to, branch out and not just look at Manhattan apartments, so definitely let me know what other parts of New York City you want me to cover. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel and stick around. Now's a really good time to join because a lot more videos of this style are coming soon. And with that, I want to close this one out. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye.